Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, I have for you a very simple card for Valentine's Day. This card is actually inspired by a card I made a few years ago. It is one of my most viewed videos. I don't know why, I guess it's because it looks very simple. However, for that card I used stamps, which not everyone has. Therefore, for today's card, instead of using stamps, I will use a black marker to make a card that everyone can create. All you need for this card is a pencil, eraser, black marker, and a blank card. I started by pre-drawing the hearts using a pencil. This is completely optional, you can draw the hearts directly with the black marker. I just prefer to pre-draw, this helps me to position the images better and correct the shapes. I started by drawing a diagonal line just to see how far I want the hearts to be, and then I started drawing the hearts. First, I drew the biggest hearts and I spaced them out across the panel, and then in between them I drew mid-size hearts and the smallest hearts. The hearts weren't perfect, but they didn't need to be, as I will be covering them with the black marker, and then at the end I will erase the pencil lines. I really didn't have any plan, I drew them as I went. I'm also drawing directly on top of the card base. This is an A6 size card base that I made myself. But as I said many times in my previous videos, you can buy blank card bases already pre-made with envelopes. You do not need to make them yourself. After I was happy with the look, I used the black marker to fill them in. I will speed up the video here so it's not too boring for you. I think it's quite straightforward, but if you would like to me go slower, just let me know in the comments. I'm using here two markers. I had those at home. The yellow marker is from Stabilo, which I used for most of the hearts. But it's a little bit small, so to fill up the bigger hearts, I used a bigger marker. If you have a Sharpie or something similar, you can use that. I follow the lines of the hearts I pre-drawn, and then I fill them in with the marker. Very simple and very quick as well. A few little tips. First, before you start drawing, check if your pencil erases easily. The cardstock, the pencil, and the eraser need to be in kind of a harmony. What I mean, sometimes when I use a specific cardstock or specific pencils or even eraser, I know I will see the lines. Smooth cardstock with a softer pencil and soft or smooth eraser work for me perfectly. Other thing you want to check is if your marker smudges when you use eraser over it. And you want to also check if your marker bleeds through the card base. I was actually surprised that the marker I was using didn't bleed through. But if you have such a problem, the best would be to use a different cardstock for the pattern that you are drawing and then adhere it on top of the card base. Or you can also glue a piece of paper on the inside of the card base. That could be an option. However, I have never tried that. By the way, the shape of the hearts is completely up to you. I would have preferred to draw the hearts slimmer and taller, just to change up the shape I usually do. But my hands simply did not want to go other way. And I do like the result, so it doesn't matter. So I finished the drawing of all the hearts. Also, here you can see the markers didn't bleed at all. I was really surprised. Next, I wrote the greeting. I kept the words the same as on the original card, just simple love you. I'm not the best when it comes to writing my own sentiments. It's because my handwriting is usually not always very cohesive. I prefer to use stamps, but I wanted this card to be 100% handmade. What helps me with the writing of the sentiment is to write it first with a pencil and then write over it with a marker. I started by drawing a pencil line because writing the words in a straight line is another thing I tend to mess up. And then I wrote the word love in an handwritten style. And then the word you I wrote in typed styled letters. I hope you know what I mean, and not sure if I'm using the correct terms for it. Then I used a marker. This is actually another marker that you can use for calligraphy. It has a soft or bendy nib. I will have the products listed over on my blog. If you are interested, the link is in the description below. I slowly went over the letters. I was so happy I didn't mess up those thick and thin lines, especially on the word love. And lastly, I carefully erased the pencil lines and the card is done. I really love it. It is very simple, elegant card. It is also very quick to make, and the best is that you don't need too many supplies. This card is definitely for those of you who are not only looking for beginner-friendly cards, but also for cards that are budget-friendly. If you would like to see the original card I made, just click on the video on the top. And if you would like to see more inspirations for Valentine's Day, click on the playlist at the bottom. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I would really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.